just a good old boy.
Today we're going to be working on this Kuhns Accumulator. Kuhns sent me the updated parts I was talking about the other day for this thing to help with the turning issue we were having. I've got a box here, done opened it. They sent us new panels and new springs. And where these go is they mount right here. These panels here, they say are too long. The new ones are about 4 inches shorter. They'll come to right about somewhere right in here as far as length, so that way when they come down and it hits here, it'll have a little more room to turn. They say that'll help it. Got new springs to go on it. The new springs have a bend and they come back to about here the way they're mounted, so we've got to change those too. So let's get started swapping this stuff out. So the first thing it says to do, let me get my Sharpie fixed. First thing it says to do is to mark this panel with a Sharpie or something exactly where it's at. That way you know where your adjustment was on both sides. We're going to come around here, squeeze in here, mark it over here as well. Alright, now we're going to do a bolt. Try to figure out a place I can put y'all. One thing I will say is that if this helps tremendously, I'm going to readjust all these things. Off my mic. I'm going to readjust all these panels and set them in different locations, because right now I've got them spaced out as wide as they'll go to help with this turning issue. And according to what they say, this should help, which it should. And if it does, I'm gonna narrow them back up so that way I ain't got such a gap spacing in my packs. So that way I can haul easier, because right now I have to shove them together. And a little bit of pain with the tractor to do that, but skid steer it's not. So here's the new one. Drop it in there. Put the bolt back in, and that's it on these. Bolt them back down. But I mean, you can see how much shorter it is. I don't know how that. It's supposed to help, but I don't know exactly how, because normally when it hits here, I ain't never seen it hit that. I've got camera footage and everything, so whatever. I say it does, it does. We'll see if it works out. Proud to have it either way. Means they care. I'd already seen the updated springs last year, but I didn't know they shortened the plates. The springs I seen, I think it was at the farm show or one that they had up at Kuhns. I'd seen where they had changed the springs around. Twist y'all over here to where they would be a little bit longer as far as down towards the bottom of the accumulator. There you go. But they said in the letter that with the combination of both of these, it would help the turning of the bells. Which I can see how being shorter would help get it to start turning sooner rather than holding it straight down. I think that might be what they're attempting to do here. Because when they said that these little Y bars, or when I first heard about this, I thought maybe it was the Y bars, and I thought, well, they can't really shorten them up, or lengthen them, because if you lengthen them, they're too long, and they won't clear the bells. And if you shorten them up, they're going to be too short, and then they won't turn the bells near soon enough. So I didn't know exactly what it was until I opened the box, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. There we go. Now let's see them. Now we got to change the springs out. Zip these things off right quick. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's not a whole lot to changing this stuff. I mean, there's 2 bolts on them big panels, and these springs here have 1 bolt on the top according to the instructions. I ain't took it out yet. That you swap out. I just got that one changed. Pull that bolt. Pick that up. Back on. There you go. Got her. Got them on. New plates are on. Got them in. Real easy to change. Just 2 bolts. Pull them out of the little sleeve they go in. Stick the new ones in. Here's the new spring. You see how they come back further and then they're over. My guess is, I don't know. I'm just going to have to try it and see how it does and figure out why they did the things they did. My guess is maybe they did this to where it would come off of that other one, because a lot of times if it doesn't turn exactly right down here, this will hang like that on the bell. My camera died. What I was trying to tell y'all is with that top gate that divides it from side to side. Each side will do 5 bells, and the top gate that's at the very top flips to decide which side it's working on. It'll do a group of 5, and then it'll do another group of 5. Well, each group has 1 bell turned sideways, as y'all have probably seen in my other videos. If you haven't checked those out, you can actually watch this from drone video, how this thing works. It'll turn the 1 sideways like this, and then it turns 4 straight up and down like that. What'll happen is the one that turns sideways will kind of get cocked at an angle a little bit because it's not turning all the way, and then it prevents, because this thing has those springs you can see in their manual trip gates that's tripped by the bells themselves as they fall down. So what it does is when it's cockeyed, the next bell that comes down that's supposed to be straight doesn't clear the spring all the way, and it closes the gate. And that's how we end up with 9 bells. The springs that they've sent with it look like, to me, they will help with that. It'll help the spring clear it and allow that gate to come back open and the bell to go down in there like it needs to. And then with the shorter pieces, I think that it's also going to help it start to turn quicker. So that way it will fall down in there the way it needs to. So I'm hoping it'll work out. I just want to say thanks to Kuhns for sending us this stuff, because most companies, as y'all probably know if you've been in the hay industry or anything ag related, really, generally the way they work here in the ag world is if you have a problem, most of the time or a lot of the time, well, you're kind of on your own unless it's just absolutely it won't work. And they'll change it the next year. And if you bought it, well, you're the one stuck with it. And it worked pretty. It's worked pretty good. I can't really complain about it a whole lot. I mean, every now and then it would dump 9 instead of 10, and it was a little bit of a problem, but it wasn't the end of the world, really, with it. So I can't really complain. And they went out of their way and done this and sent these parts out to help correct a little problem instead of a major problem. And that goes a long ways with me, because there's not a lot of companies out there here in the ag world that'll do that a lot of times. And I like to work with companies that will work with me. And if they have an issue with their machinery, they'll try to fix it. And I really appreciate that, because this stuff ain't cheap anymore. It's way more expensive than it used to be. And when you pay all this money for this stuff, you want it to work and work the way it should. And I respect a company who's willing to accept the responsibility of it and try to help you out. And I really appreciate that from Kuhns Manufacturing. Thank you all over there for sending us this stuff. And we'll see what it does together and how it works out. Thanks to Kuhns Equipment for being an awesome dealer as usual. They kind of helped arrange all this and whatnot, getting this stuff to me. If you're having issues with it, contact your Kuhns Manufacturing dealer and talk to them about it, and maybe they can get a hold of Kuhns and they'll send you the updated parts or whatever to fix yours. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.